tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello? Has been restored.
Oh, has been restored.
The raw has been restored.
The raw has been restored. Later.
Little Giants ball, 3rd and 8, deep in their own territory, and the Thunder showing blitz. Jimmy takes the snap. Here comes Deuce, and Deuce grabs his flag. It's a sack. The Little Giants will have to punt. First, he's a sure-handed, precise route-running tight end. Now he's a fierce pass-rushing, Rock of Gibraltar defensive end. Is there anything that Deuce can't do? And now he's going to return the punt that the Little Giants will have to do. This kid is amazing. Jimmy drops back, avoids the rush, looking over the middle. It's Deuce, and it's caught. A diving catch. It didn't look like he needed to dive for it, but Deuce intentionally slowed down in order to make the acrobatic, heroic catch. I haven't seen that move since a certain Dan Cole intentionally slowed down in Little League Coon Rapids baseball tryouts. Like father, like son, and that's a Thunder first down. For the first time all day, the Thunder forced the punt, 4th and 15, and Deuce takes the long snapping honors. Deuce snaps it. He snaps it to the up man. It's Robbie, and Robbie looks surprised. He hasn't seen the football all day, and Robbie's flag is snatched. What was he thinking? Now there's a man with a backwards beret running out on the field while talking on the phone. He's yelling at Deuce, and yes, Deuce did just yell back, "You're insane," because he tried to snap it to the up man. The Thunder give up the ball deep in their own territory. Not sure what Deuce was thinking there.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the 4th in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
Please, please, please. Okay, keep going. Greetings, good afternoon, and ack-ack-a-dack, dack-dack-ack. It's the first day of the Minnesota State Fair here in Falcon Heights. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. He's 10 and B. We're here till 3, unprepared, uninformed, and unprofessional. If you're waiting for poised, polished, and professional, 3 o'clock, Big Ticket and JG will be here. We are here until 3 o'clock. There are so many things to get to today. First of all, it's the first day of the Great Minnesota Get-Together, the Minnesota State Fair. Mouth Guitar Guy will be celebrating how many years here at the fair now? 49 years.
Wow.
Next year, the 50th anniversary. We have that to get to. The Twins lose again. It looks like it might be over for them. The Vikings training camp continues. Who will they keep? Who will they not? The Lynx are back in action, I think. Wilds, now that it looks like the guy for the Rockies is going to sign, not Rockies, Colorado hockey team, Avalanche. Well, isn't there a guy there that's about to sign?
McCarr.
And that's going to probably set the marketplace for our guy, Quinnesota. And, of course, we just signed Bada Bing, Bada Kaminga for the Minnesota Timberwolves, our new power forward. A little short for the power forward position, but it's slim pickings once you get to this point of the year. With all those topics to get to, I'm not sure where to begin. Let's spin the wheel of topics.
Wheel of Topics!
I hope it ends on Kaminga. Bada binga, bada kaminga. Bada boom.
Commons golf game.
What did you shoot today?
88-0.
Where'd we play?
Prestwick, you had Wedgwood and Woodbury.
Where'd you hit it on one?
Where do you think? Right up the gut.
How far from the green were you?
I had one, I think it was 28 to the pin.
Second shot?
I hit my shot and it checked up in the fringe. I couldn't believe it, so I missed the green.
Right or left?
Straight at it. It wasn't right or left. I thrown nothing but darts, okay?
Then what?
2-putted for par. I can't avoid the blow-up holes. I go par, 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 and then I go double, double, toil and trouble. But then I birdied 8 and 9, get it back to 2. I par 10, I par 11, and then it's bogey, bogey, double, bogey. But I finished strong. I played okay. It was all right.
What'd
I'm
you
all
hit
right
for your
with
second shot at 18?
Second shot at 18, I had to hit a 4-wood. And I also had to hit a 4-wood on my third shot. It was a great drive and a terrible 4-wood, so then I laid up with a 5-iron, which was a pitchfork.
The 5-iron might as well be.
Brett, can you pot up my button bar so I can hit the yawn, please? That's all I want to do. Just trying to fire it off over here.
Go ahead.
There we go.
How many people like the daily, the shot-by-shot daily recap of Common Man's Round every day? Clap your hands. How many people wish I would quit golfing? Clap your hands. You're just envious and jealous.
I'm very jealous.
Because guess where I'm going after this?
You're living the dream.
I've got a sundown round at the ICC at 4 o'clock this afternoon. It's for charity.
What's the ICC?
Interlochen Country Club. You're not familiar with it? And it's for charity. They put together some kind of a deal with golf with the people. You're the only show I'd actually pay money to listen to. That's what Dark Star said. There were actually people out there that paid money to play golf with me. And then somebody at the ICC, a member, he offered up his course. He's covering the guest fees. He's covering the caddy fees. The charity gets the money for playing with me, and then I get to tag along and play golf. It's a pretty good gig if you can get it, and I admit it. Bamboozled somebody along the way. How many people are here at the Minnesota State Fair for the very first time in their life? How many people have been here for tens of dozens of years? Clap your hands. Yeah, always first day people. Do you like coming to the first day? I do too, because by the time you get to day 8, 9, and 10, the garbage is rotting. You can smell the horse barn, the pig barn, the sheep barn, the meat sauce barn. It just starts reeking to high heaven. So this is a really good time to come. Weather is pretty cooperative as well too, which
beautiful.
Which I really like. Hey, thank you very much. We've come up with a new rule that we've installed a new rule here. There are so many people, as you can see, that would like to watch the Common Man program from the bleachers that there's just not enough room to accommodate everybody. So we're limiting all of you to one segment sitting in the bleacher. I do this bit every year. And then once the segment is over, you would exit in an orderly fashion. So the hundreds of people that want to sit and watch the show will get an opportunity to do it as well. So
I
it's
always
kind of
love
fair.
that one.
And once you leave your seat, you can't get it back because somebody's going to get it from you. Hey, what's up? Yeah. You know, in all honesty, the Minnesota State Fair, there was a time where doing the show here was it seemed like a chore because you're in a different atmosphere. Do you play to the crowd out in the I wouldn't call it a crowd, to the handful of people, the smattering of people out in the audience, or the listeners, do you think we have more people listening here live at the fair or listening on FM 100.3? What do you think? They're leaving. They've had enough. Why are you guys leaving?
They heard your golf round. That's all they needed to hear.
They were here for PJ Fleck. Were you here for PJ Fleck? I love him. God bless him. Did you understand a word he said? At the very end he was rambling about. He goes, I got this theory, and then I didn't understand the theory. I couldn't even, he goes, no one's asked me how to run college football, and I'm thinking that's probably a good idea, but he was his normal. If I've never ever heard a guy that's as excited and as enthusiastic and as positive as that guy is, and that's good because the university needs it. We have University of Minnesota football fans out here. You have to clap your hands. It's the only way. That's okay. How many people will be fans if we get off to a 1-4 start? Clap your hands. Still,
oh wow,
thick and thin,
loyal.
We have people that are thick and thin. Your school is Division I now, right?
They are.
Football. Is this their first year division? He's at Tommy. He went to St. Thomas Academy.
University.
University.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Don't put that on me.
I'm sorry. St. Thomas University. Is this the first year of their Division I football? Or have they been?
No, they've been Division I from the get-go, but they haven't been like eligible for postseason.
Oh, I see.
The first 4 or 5 years, whatever that was. It's supposed to be 5 years. I think they moved it up to 4 years. So I believe they are now. Now the football thing is that that's kind of like a different. The conference they're in is not exactly Power 5.
Right. It's okay.
The hockey team is going to the best conference in all of the nation now in the NCHC. So
really?
Big time for the hockey team.
And I think there's been this thing. Have the Gophers finally agreed to play basketball with them?
About time.
Do they do it in hockey?
They've played before in hockey.
They have played before in hockey. In football, I don't think so. Right?
No, they should. I mean, some of those opponents the Gophers play first couple of games are very St. Thomas-like.
That's a lose-lose situation for the Gophers, isn't it, really, to be honest? I mean, nothing. I'm not taking anything away from St. Thomas University, but it's like if you play them and you lose to them,
well, that's why the basketball team's been ducking this for so long.
Because then it's just like...
Because they could lose that one.
Right, and so you're like, this will not be a good look. It'll be lead story everywhere, so you got to be careful for that. Well, thanks for coming out to the fair. You're actually welcome to stay in the bleachers as long as you'd possibly like. We've got plenty to get to today. The legendary one, Mark Rosen, will be here at 2 o'clock today, we think. He had his second knee replacement surgery. He will park in the media parking lot, which is, how far do you think that is? A couple 100 yards, 300 yards?
Sure.
300 yards? He said he might take an hour to get from the parking lot here because he's going to have to stop several times. He was kind of looking for a little sympathy yesterday.
I'm a fraud.
Yes. I had talked with Lil B yesterday about maybe finding a sponsor for one of those little carts, little scooters. So maybe he'll get that, and he'll be able to scooter his way over here. We'll find out.
Or if anyone has a wagon that you were like just bringing your small children in, or you want to just loan it to Rosie for a little bit.
I don't think he'll fit in a stroller. I really don't, but you never know. So let's do this. Let's take our first break of the program. When we come back, it'll be Peek at the Purple, and then, like I say, Rosen coming up at 2 o'clock, 5:34, top of the hour. Later on, as the days progress through the fair, we got plenty more to get to. We got Ben Lieber coming out here. Meat Sauce will be here. We'll play Program Password tomorrow and the following Friday. And, of course, a mouth guitar guy will close out each and every show just before 3 o'clock here. So we'll take our first break. We're broadcasting live from Carousel Park in the shadows of the grandstand. It's the Minnesota State Fair right here on the Fan.
This is the Common Man, Dan Cole, live from the...
Follow KFAN 1003 on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, X, and YouTube. Stay connected to the sports leader, The Fan.
State Fair. I'm the Common Man, Dan Cole. He's 10 to B. Time for Peek at the Purple. This is a daily feature. It wouldn't be 365 days out of the year because we don't work every day of the year. But every weekday, Monday through Friday, we do Peek at the Purple. Brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Affordable Electric for all of your electrical needs. And right now, for a limited time, you can save $50. $50. $50 on electrical work of $375 or more. Restrictions apply, and the offer is not valid for evaluations. But call 612-331-VOLT or skip the call and book online anytime at affordable-electric.com. Affordable-Electric, your hometown electrical team, keeping the Twin Cities powered on game day and every day. Remember, Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Oh, boy. Just glad I wasn't standing in a bucket of water though, of course, I'm right now experiencing flop sweat. And you would think that's water to a certain extent, right?
That's not good with all the electronics around here.
It's really not. With the Vikings, it's all quiet on the Western Front. I see stories where who's going to make the 50-man roster or the 53-man roster, and they're still battling for those positions. And I think they kind of took a look at some of them, and I don't think any of them, it might make or break the player's career, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a difference for the Vikings. I think we pretty much know who the main players are going to be, who the starters are going to be, and then when you're hoping that a couple of those rookies, Golday, big Citrus and a walking boot Banks. You would like to see them. I mean, it would be wonderful if they were able to step right into a starting role, but that can be difficult to do when you're a rookie. But I'm sure they'll get playing time and they'll work them into the rotation, and things should be okay. But it remains to be seen. And I think still really on the minds of most people is the quarterback situation. I think it's established, and Murray's the guy, obviously, but I still think there's question marks whether if he's the guy. I mean, that can, he can play the position, but can he play it at a high level and help the Vikings get, back into the playoffs? I don't know.
By the way, I'm still fascinated. Maybe other people aren't. I'm just fascinated with the backup quarterback situation.
Yeah.
That it's gone from McCarthy and Murray battling it out for the one, which I never fully believed from the get-go,
right,
but
correct.
they played it out like it was. And then all of a sudden it's, well, who's your back? Who's number two? And now they were splitting reps the other day. And now yesterday, J.J. McCarthy didn't practice because of his ankle injury, which, if you recall, and I felt like I was in the minority here last year.
You were.
That they weren't playing J.J. McCarthy in games because of ankle injury at the time. It was like a 6-week ankle injury, which seemed pretty long for how much they downplayed it from the get-go. They had Carson Wentz out there playing with one shoulder and probably missing a couple ribs, and yet it was J.J. McCarthy 5 weeks removed from an ankle injury, and he couldn't go. And now all of a sudden, I don't know if they're just trying to protect J.J. and his ego or his trade value. I'm not sure, but I do think now J.J. being hurt yesterday is going to give them the easy way to go. Oh, J.J.'s not feeling good right now, so Carson's a little healthier. Carson's going to be our number two, when in fact he won the number 2 job all along.
Yes, correct.
And they're using the injury as an excuse.
Yeah, and I don't know. There's the discussions that, well, you want to publicly talk about how much you believe in him. You still there's a chance to be a starting quarterback in the league. And I think some people believe that might be as a way to maybe increase his value as a trade piece, right? That, teams that are looking for backups that might not believe. My guess is there are teams in the league right now. I bet there's 10, 12 that really don't like their backup quarterback situation, right?
Sure.
They were probably salivating and green with envy of Carson Wentz, right? So for them, a young guy like a McCarthy, they might go, but the thing is, you're not going to.
We were that team last year.
Right, but you're not going to get much for him,
No.
Even if you do. But I think that's the other thing is I don't think you're fooling any other teams by going publicly and saying we really think he's good. He's got a chance to be. We haven't given up on him. We think he's a great quarterback, but yet you're relegating him to third string. So I don't think you really believe that. And the other teams know you're just saying that to try to keep his trade value up. So I don't think you're fooling anybody by doing it that way. So.
Well, the other element of this is let's say he is third string. What do you do with him moving forward, right? You could just keep him and hold on to him.
Right.
But how many teams actually have a third quarterback on their actual roster? Like typically it's, even us in the past, we've had our third stringer on the practice squad, right? But you could keep him. You could trade him. You could cut him.
Yeah.
Right? Especially at the dollar amount he's going to be making. I know he's, compared to most quarterbacks in the league, he's not making a lot, but for a third-string quarterback, he'll be making a lot. I don't know what the ramifications are of trying to get out of the contract and cutting him, but that all of a sudden you have a decision to make on when a guy's a third-string quarterback as opposed to one or two.
Well, and aside from that, let's say you decide to carry 3 quarterbacks. Well, he's not going to get any better sitting on the sideline with everybody likes to use the cliched. He's wearing a baseball cap and a clipboard. Of course, I guess instead of a clipboard, it's the blue. What are those?
iPad.
Yeah, iPad with
the tablet.
Yeah, with the tablet. With that, you don't get any better being on the sideline. I mean, you might be able to learn some things about reading defenses and how the games, but that should be that's beside the point now. It's like you need to play to get better. And, when we went to the offseason, there was this discussion. He went to California, I guess, and worked out with some quarterback guru. Much like they have swing coaches in professional golf, they've got people all over that are kicking gurus, punting gurus, quarterback gurus, all these things. They sent them to one of the best, I think, out in California. And so when he was coming back, I think all of us that would like to see him do well probably going, okay, let's see if he learns some things there. And from what we saw in the preseason games, he really hasn't evolved at all.
It's a small sample size, the small amount you've seen in the preseason games. And you and I had the luxury of actually watching him enjoying practice. He looks like the same quarterback.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen, the whole discussion last year was, here, put this headset that doesn't work on top of it.
Yes, I will do that.
The whole discussion last year was, well, he's got a good fastball, but he doesn't know how to put touch on it. He doesn't know how to layer it. Sometimes you have to just dump it into a spot as opposed to, and he still is making the exact same throws on a rope.
Well, and especially in the preseason.
Oh, the last one, yeah.
The last preseason game. So not just in the controlled scrimmage or in the preseason game, he never threw a touch pass at all. And the one he really needed to was the one for the touchdown.
Yeah.
That was just that's almost like a little flop wedge.
That's a pitch and catch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like, it was the equivalent of just hitting a little flop shot, just a little pitch onto the green, and he just threw it as if he was hitting a 4-iron stinger. It's like, why you...
And he was so open, like you didn't even have to throw it that accurately.
No.
You just throw it up in the air to a certain area, and Miles Perry's going to have time to get it without getting hit by the defender.
And Rosen said this yesterday, he stole it from me, because I've said this forever.
Yeah.
If you, generally speaking, any team that gets to their second-string quarterback, especially if it's long-term, if it's for a quarter, a series, a quarter, maybe a game, two, you hope that tape, if he plays 2 games, you're hoping to split those games, win one, lose one, right? But if it's any long-term situation where it's 4, 5, 6 games, you're probably not in very good shape anyways, because it's hard to find 32 really good starting quarterbacks, then much less 32 backup quarterbacks. So if you get to your backup for any extended period of time, it's probably not good. Though I will say this, and I'm about to say something controversial.
That's interesting.
I think if Carson Wentz started the first 6 games for the Vikings, they'd go 5-1. Yada.
The Vikings have had a history of backup quarterback success.
They have.
Case Keenum.
They have. Oh, yeah, I guess they have.
Randall Cunningham.
I guess they have.
Is that about it?
Carson. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't know of any others. But, again, cut down day. I asked yesterday if there's an official day, and there is a day. I don't remember what that day is, but I think it's sometime early next week.
Well, I heard KOC talk about it in his presser, and I thought he said it's earlier than normal. It might be a Sunday, actually.
Okay. So either Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, regardless, in a very short period of time, there's going to be a day when you have...
this Sunday at 5 p.m.
Yeah, so you need to get down to 53. And I think you're right. I think most teams do not carry 3 quarterbacks. You carry 2. Then do you stash a guy in the practice squad?
Sure.
Can you do that's probably... Now, I would think that's where he's destined. As much as they would like McCarthy 9 to be the backup, I just don't think in good conscience they can do that.
I do wonder, though, if... I don't know what the rest of the league thinks of him, but I don't even know if you could get him to the practice squad. There might be a team out there somewhere.
Yeah, we just said that it's possible that there's some people that would think he is an improvement.
Like his trade value is not high, but I still think you get like a 6th or 7th round pick from somebody.
Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric for all of your electrical needs. Hometown, small business, support them, please. Affordable Electric. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric. Take a short break, come back with more. Wolves made a move. We'll get to that here on the Common Man program along with 10B, right here on The Fan.
We like to think of it as Blue Ribbon Radio.
The KFAN booth is your home base at the Minnesota State Fair. You can visit Carousel Park to enjoy live shows every day, including Common Right Now. You can take home some brand new KFAN gear, which you can see on our X account, KFAN1003. Plus, you're shot at a free original chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A with every purchase while supplies last. Don't miss out. Get the details, KFAN.com/fair. And the Fan at the Fair is presented by Mesh Besher and Spence.
Technical difficulties aside, we're having a great time. Everybody enjoying themselves out there here at the Minnesota State Fair? I see somebody's having some fries. Somebody else is enjoying some corn on the cob. And you're having a beer.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Smooth.
It's smooth to the groove, guy. Where have you been? We've been waiting all year. We've been waiting forever.
I know. I do apologize, but the opportunity to talk is limited now. But it's always a
vocal cord problems, or what do you mean?
Well, now that I can't call in, maybe I get the hotline. But
you're breaking up. We can't quite hear what you're saying.
Here's the deal.
All right, here's the deal.
Remember back when I was, this has got to be 30 years.
Well, how could I forget then 30 years ago?
I called you, and you answered. And
I answered the phone?
Yes. And I said, I got a little...
Wait, tell me. What show were you calling? I don't answer the phone when I'm on the air.
But when I called from a payphone at a Tom Thumb in Farmington, 25, 30 years.
It was so long ago, it was just a dime for a phone call.
Correct. But I said I got a little, what do you call them? Common man, you are smooth to the groove like sandwich spread.
Yes.
And you said, could you do a double take? And I said I would be more than happy, but here's my moniker.
Okay.
Just call me Smooth to the Groove Guy.
There is. Let's hear it for Smooth to the Groove Guy.
Yes. So, but thanks, Common.
Yeah, good to see you. I'm glad you've been here for 30 years.
And then some. Many more to come.
Yeah, very good. Thank you. That's Smooth to the Groove. Let's hear it for him. Edgar Winter. Anybody familiar with a musician named Edgar Winter? Clap your hands. He had an album that really sums up the State Fair. They only come out at night. Smooth to the Groove Guy. Thank you. They only come out at night. I mean, it is, and I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with all the love in my heart, because I'm included in this. The State Fair brings out the human oddities of the state of Minnesota, and I'm one of them. Well, look at me. I mean, I'm a human oddity, and I'm not the only one here. And I'm not mentioning any names, and I'm not going to look at anybody. Mouth guitar guy, let's hear it for him. He says that's the first time I've seen him with a cane.
I was going to say, I've never seen that before.
And he said he's had it for a couple years, but I've never seen him out here with a cane.
He's going to be able to perform with that.
Well, he has some trouble with his balance, he says. But he'll be okay. He'll make it. And we're looking forward to that. Bada binga, bada kaminga. We got a guy named Kaminga.
Yes.
The Minnesota Timberwolves made a move. They don't wait long. And apparently new ownership is there. We have a new owner. And his name again is Crad, Bad. What is his name again?
It's Shad.
I think it might be Shad. New owner. He was actually a minority, almost like a silent partner. And his name wasn't out there. And then all of a sudden, and he's Stad. And I read a story about him. I mean, he's self-made.
I did see that.
Did you read that story about him? Athletic did a piece. Johnny Krasinski did a piece called. Headline for it was, who is Mark Stad? Get to know the tech investor taking control of the Minnesota Timberwolves. He's 47-year-old founder of San Francisco-based Dragoneer Investment Group, an investment firm with over $35 billion in assets under management. Billion in assets under management, according to his LinkedIn profile. The firm specializes in technology investments with notable ventures in OpenAI, Anthropic, DoorDash, Spotify, and Airbnb. I'm planning on going on a vacation here soon, and I want to get an Airbnb. Do you think you could get me a deal on it?
Maybe.
I would think so. He seems to be one of his technology investment. And there's
if he did, how would you talk about the Timberwolves in the future?
I really love the Timberwolves. I think they're a great team. I think they're going to not only get to the Western Conference Finals, but they'll win the whole thing. I love parades. He grew up just outside of Los Angeles in Montebello. It was the first in his family to graduate from high school, which is amazing because I'm the first in my family to not graduate from high school. Isn't that weird? We both took different paths. He's a multi-billionaire tech investor. I'm just a Midland, mediocre, midday talk show host. Isn't that amazing? He graduated. I didn't. I think that's one of the biggest differences there. And then how about this? He went to Harvard. He went to Harvard. Well, he went to Harvard. Says when in Cambridge from California for his freshman year, he did not have enough money for a winter coat and had to apply to an endowment fund at the school created specifically for students who couldn't afford warm clothes. Who would have thunk at Harvard that there were people that wouldn't be able to afford winter clothes? He graduates. There goes my stuff again. Hold on.
You have so much prep up here.
Yeah, there's so much prep.
Yes.
He graduated from Harvard in 2001, later attended Stanford University's Graduate School of Business, and he now serves as a board member. What I really like is he shares the wealth. Where did I see the donations he's made? All sorts of. It says
sounds like he's got a lot to share.
He has plenty. He and his wife, they donated $3 million to launch the STAD Center for Pediatric Pain. Palliative, is that how you say that word? See, he went to Harvard, I didn't. And integrative medicine at UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital in San Francisco. The clinic is designed to treat children with acute and chronic pain, including pain caused by sickle cell disease. That's very good. He might want to start one for people that suffer from the pain of the Minnesota Timberwolves not ever getting to the NBA Finals. That would be another.
Can he help with Avatar while he's at it?
Yeah, STAD donated $5 million to the Future Forward USA action for presidential super PACs. So the guys, he's active politically, he's active in charitable donations, and now he's active in signing players. Because my guess is he had to sign off, and that he's the main guy. It went from Harvard Marv to Glenn Taylor to Laurie and Rodriguez, and now Laurie is he sold his stake in the Wolves. I mean, he still has some, but he sold his majority stake, and that's now owned by the STAD.
So was he a minority when Glenn Taylor was the majority?
Now that I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just wondering why they didn't go to him the first time, unless maybe he's earned some more money since then.
Or it's possible at the time he really wasn't interested. Because it's a big step. I know you have plenty of money, but still, when you invest that, and then, it doesn't sound like he's going to be. It doesn't sound like it. Like he's going to be like a Jerry Jones, where he's being quoted all the time, and you go to him for things. It seems like Rodriguez, A-Rod, is still going to be
the face.
Guy. He's going to be the face of the franchise. But we bring that up because STAD certainly doesn't care about, or he's not like right-sizing the payroll. They've decided to go ahead. The Timberwolves signed Jonathan Kuminga. He's, let's see what his resume says he is. He was a 6'7", 225-pound player. He was the 7th pick in the 2021 NBA draft. Spent his first 4.5 seasons with the Golden State Warriors. He was meant to be a featured component of the organization's two-timeline approach aimed at sustaining the team's success as Steph, Draymond, and Klay Thompson aged. After an up-and-down tenure with the Warriors that included an NBA championship and also extended time outside of Steve Kerr's rotation, Kuminga was traded along with Buddy Hield to the Atlanta Hawks. And one of my basketball sources told me that, apparently, for some reason, he and Kerr didn't really see eye to eye on things. So I think that was part of the reason they decided to go in another direction. He signed a $50 million deal. That was when he signed a $50 million deal with the Warriors, then was traded to the Hawks, and he played pretty well with them last year. Though he didn't play very long. It was 16 regular season games, averaging 12.3 points a game. He reached double figures in 5 of Atlanta's 6 playoff games. The Wolves, sources feel that Kuminga has untapped defensive potential and a versatile playing style that can help them match up against some of the more rugged teams in the West, so they went after him hard. You look at his career stats, they're not real impressive. It's amazing. $12 million for 2 years. I mean, in NBA terms, that's not a lot of money.
It's almost like minimum wage.
Well, it does. Well, but when you look at the numbers he's posted, he's probably not really worth that much more. And I guess the Wolves think they're going to get more. 6'7" not very big for a power forward. Tend to be. Power forwards are usually going. You're 6'9",
he doesn't have a lot
6'10",
of thickness to him either.
No,
225.
Yeah. So I don't know. The other thing is, It's interesting just how the team under Conley has sort of morphed from one style to the next. When he first got here, he decided we're going to go with the two bigs. So they went and got Gobert, and
they already had Big Meow,
and paired him with Big Meow. Then we go a year with that, and we decide to go in another direction. We decide now we're going to trade. We're not going to go with the two big men anymore. So they trade Big Meow. They get DiVincenzo, and they get Julius Randle. And they try a different style. But that doesn't work as well. Matter of fact, they had an early exit this year after back-to-back conference finals. And now they seem to be going, it's almost like trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know, I guess I actually don't think that's a bad thing that the architect of the team, Connolly, he sees where the league is going or where his team is going. He's not going to just stick with something because, well, we traded for these guys. I guess we got to stick with that. He's going, that didn't work, and he's not afraid to make some changes. Now,
well, maybe he didn't see where the league was going, though, because it already changed that quickly.
Yeah.
I think, at the time it was the Denver Nuggets were the number one team in basketball, and they look like they're going to be the best team in the world. And, they won the one championship.
Sure.
And have been a high-quality team, but haven't really replicated. But that, they changed pretty quickly with OKC, and now what do you do? Because OKC plays one style of brand where they don't have bigs that you need to worry about. But then the other best team in the West, at least in San Antonio, has maybe one of the best bigs we've ever seen. So,
but I know what you're saying. But I would say I would rather build a team to go against OKC because Wembanyama is such a unique player. I don't think anybody big guy you're going to be able to really slow him down. So it's like, well, we'll worry about that when we face him in the playoffs. We'll try to throw two guys at him, do a lot of different things. But I think they just feel like smaller ball's better. And I don't disagree with them.
You know what I say?
What's that?
Instead of constantly trying to match up with the other teams, you create a team that they have to match up with.
And maybe they will now. Maybe they will. We think we have a great guard combo now with LaMelo and the other thing is, and this is all sports actually, and I've talked about this with you before. Kuminga's 23. LaMelo is also 23, I think, right? 25.
He's young.
Ant's young. Everybody's young. The organization's success, the franchise's success, coaching staff, they're all based upon guys that are young and wild and free. And it's got to be maddening. It's like if you were to let and maybe this is too much of a stretch, but it's almost like deciding to let your children run your household. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't turn it over to your
We call that KFAN.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. It's the same exact thing. I guess really it's the pot calling the kettle black.
Yeah.
There are people at iHeart in the upper reaches of it in the sales that are depending on, depending upon the air staff at the fan. I never thought about it that way.
The children.
Wow. How many of you would invest in KFAN radio with the air talent that's on from a daily basis? Wow. I think a couple of those are just sympathy claps, too. It's like, I guess I hadn't thought of that. Far be it for me to criticize.
If you're one of the three people that just clap, marketing@kfan.com.
Yeah.
Email.
But I will say this. I mean, I don't think there's anybody on the fan that's making NBA money either. So there's not as much at stake there, right?
Well, maybe one guy is.
Yeah. No, not NBA money. Trust me. But there are people making good money. There's no doubt about that. But so I don't know. And it's when you're depending upon, now it's another mix of teams. Now they're apparently over in Paris without Kuminga unless they're flying him over there, right?
Well, they got to be back by now. Wasn't that Paris thing like 2 weeks ago?
I've heard they're still there.
They're still in Paris?
I hear they're still there. They're painting the town red. I don't mind bonding trips, I guess.
Do you want to go on a trip together?
Yeah. No, not really.
Okay.
But I just don't know if that's the answer. We saw the quotes from Edwards that says it all starts with being teammates and bonding and to me it really starts with, you heard him last year. he said, it seems like a lot of times we don't listen to the coach and what he says. Well, then that's I think that's where it starts, is you listen to the coach. That's where you start your franchise. Have players that know what the playbook looks like, know what the plays that are called, know what system they're running. Don't just play, open gym kind of basketball where you're just winging it, because that's what a lot of these guys do sometimes. So remains to be seen, but I will say this. Who was the other? Was it Lyles? They had some other guy they got as a power forward, and he certainly wasn't going to make anybody real excited. So at least I like the Kuminga guy because he's a name and he's got some potential, and so at least it's better than what we had prior to trading for or signing him. So
they are back from the Paris trip. By the way.
Are they back from the Paris trip?
It's a couple weeks ago.
Oh, was it that long ago? I thought they were still there. So anyway, I don't know. I guess I know there were. It's funny when you look at the comment section. Anytime it seems like it's always the extremes, right, in the comment section. There were those that were going, well, we're now one of the top 3 teams in the West, and I think we're going to get to the NBA Finals now. What a great move. Then you have other people saying, why did we get this guy? It just goes to show you that this franchise has no idea what they're doing. There's not many of the in-between ones where I kind of am at, where I'm like, well, I don't know enough about the guy. Apparently he does have talent. He was a 7th overall pick, so I don't think you become the 7th overall pick if you're not, if there's not some pretty good upside to you. So
it's a little weird that he's that highly picked, is 23 years old, and he's already on 3rd team.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of guys, that happens.
And he's being signed on, August 26th.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
Now, there apparently were other suitors.
Yeah.
That he might even had more to offer.
Well, the Lakers offered apparently a lot more money. But I think maybe it was also the opportunity, because he's basically
get some playing time here.
He's going to be the playing.
He can hit a big payday,
right? Because it's a 1-year deal, right? I think it's just a 1-year deal with an option for a second. It's a player option, I think, is what I read. If I'm mistaken, they're sorry. I'm unprepared, uninformed, and unprofessional. So you have to deal.
What if I wanted a T-shirt that said that?
Oh, that'd be a great State Fair T-shirt.
Do you need some milk to get prepared?
No, that's okay, but I appreciate the offer, anyways.
I wouldn't trust the open glass of milk.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all good. So, I'm with you on that. You do wonder why he was available, but because he will get more playing time here, maybe it'll all work. You think someday it probably has to, but it remains to be seen.
I mean, it's a good spot to be, right? I mean, you've got some talented players elsewhere in the starting lineup that's going to be getting a lot of attention taken away from them. So. You should be able to find yourself open quite a bit.
Look, on paper, it sounds great with Ball and Edwards, because we saw last year in the playoffs, Edwards would take the ball across the center court stripe. He got double-teamed immediately. They didn't know what to do, and then they would throw up a brick. Now, apparently, LaMelo will handle the ball, and then Ant will have more open looks, and then the Kuminga guy, they expect something. Gobert.
Kuminga did have the one really good playoff game against the Wolves.
He had a really good playoff game against the Wolves. Maybe that was what, and he has performed better in the playoffs, I think, than the regular season. So we'll see how it all pans out. Let's take a break. Our last break of this hour. Other side of the break, we'll do 5, 3, 4. 10 of what you got for us.
It's the end of an era in the National Football League.
The Common Man Program, live at the Fair on the Fan.
From the 1-800-ASK